nansa abra wo kwa adwuma no awu otimi firi ho no okwa adwuma no asambra na ne fie kwan no ayera no letimi yedi ho ayi no akọ be ma ne fie no asiesi ho no otimi prebe no ande fro ne nkwan ahihye fridge mu ama be me no ne ade wo timi emwa woni obi wo ho mo wo he ho esoro ho ana he na mo wo woni obi ya wo ho 9 years monka awade asem wo timi emwa and as soon him say me nipa no meko ne ho weekend nti wan humi a me wo ho first no bi kwa a wo hyen a wotete afi di omo ba mu kita suitcase ova ganya na me en sphincters my enyo eten sphincters oba enyo eten sphincters ganya na me sphincters really.
We love Friday nights. It's the first Friday of 2025. So we say a happy new year to everybody out there listening. From the Sports Panorama crew, Benjamin Nketsia here. Show proudly brought to us by your favorite Twisco, Royal Kingdom Estate, and the very versatile Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Mix. Big shout outs to my YouTube people from the Faroe Islands, the people from Nepal, those of you who are getting to us from the Himalayas, Antarctica, Siberia, and obviously down here in Africa. I know a lot of Ghanaians are around the continent listening. If you are down south, give us a shout. If you are in East Africa, give us a shout. And let me know where in Europe you are listening from as well. You can text into the show also. No, hold on. When you get to me on YouTube, first subscribe to Citi Sports GH and then drop us a shout. If you are listening via radio, you can send us a text on 0549986996. Just a couple of days ago, I met a very ardent listener of the show, Dr. Okreku Yuenchi. Top guy. Top guy. Yeah.
I should have called Doc for us to meet.
No, official part to Doctor.
Dog, official part.
He be tough guy.
Dog, you are tough. Mami who say you're tough. I know you have always been tough. You are one of the very good men out there in this country. So,
official part to him.
He came to see us.
Yeah.
And
he gave us a quick visit. It was
I had
really
the opportunity to teach his kids. Brilliant children, just like father, like
if
son.
they are brilliant, you have to know where it
Now,
comes from.
who papa been who hear them born?
Yeah, I know what it
Your
is.
father no book. How you vision?
Big shout outs to Doc out there. Happy New Year to you. But you see, we have a few issues on the table today. New Year does not change anything. Doesn't mean that we are coming to do a new year, new me. Those no. You see, the only new things we do are the things we need to improve on, and that one there's a lot to say about that. Anyway, Baby Jet was doing his thing yesterday. So you see, the prayers need to permeate specific areas.
So you are giving the prayer points.
Thank you.
Okay.
Baby Jet was up to some shenanigans yesterday. Charlie, mix. I've never seen anything like that before. Jollof kakra, pizza kakra,
Gary photo
kakra, and basic. Charlie, it was all over the place. We'll try and make some sense of it. We'll get into it. There's a Ghana Premier League game happening at the Legon Stadium. We have a reporter there. There's Heart of Oak, Legon City. So we have to commit the league into God's hands this year, because we hear that Star Times are thinking about making a comeback as far as the league is concerned. When you go a little further, there's a big game this weekend. Now, Amorimbo is walking backwards into the championship as we speak now. In fact, I have a lot of friends who have told me that if they had their own way, they wouldn't turn up at Anfield this weekend. But I've told them that they should calm down. So we'll talk about the Liverpool-Man United game in depth. Also, I want to let you know that the transfer window is officially open. For those of you who don't know, who do you want to see your club sign? Does your club also need prayers? As at now, I don't know if Manchester United, for instance, is IMF or they're operating under IMF rules or something. Because, coach, you must pray for the single digits billionaire. You must commit Black Stars captainship into God's hands, because it looks like that armband, there's a problem there. And you must commit the league, the GFA, and Star Times and everybody around the league also into the Lord's hands, please.
Yowa.
How?
Afie he jenshi. Manche. Jowa Zebat. One chabu beke na shine.
How?
Wakashida betikple. Jinoni habo. Owana afi he jenshi. Eba ni nawo ni woke jenshi. Woke shida yo no. Keje wo wokume. Wo nyemme. Wo nyanyime. Wo nuchimo bi. Mo fia mo ni small wasani. Woke yo wa won double shin ya me he wo. 2025 Ghana football mini yo wo yin. Waya AFCON. Waya CHAN. Waya Ekweko apart from women AFCON. AFCON na le coach ni ka waya. You was about Ketokreku me fe on coach eti. Ketokreku me fe bomu de ahun. Mami le ni jabrochi ene ba coach
Nora
Hutla. Get me bomu den. Mami le eti. E na coach Zambia. Get meet wo ye AFCON me e ba wo. No two ways about that. E ba wo. No mean cry yo was about o fe ni go be there anna kitchen. Bole me kuma ken feche. Ni samambi ai nye kometo nye pe oche nye pe a nye fi ani odugba wo ye wo sani yo wa fi ne le chake mo Ketokreku yo wa fi ne le jomo Ketokreku ane jomo e chake Prosper Adomine general secretary nkalete Accra Academy senior ni keje eche lawyer won pa fai nya banya heshi ni yo wa chake nye job
Ow.
nya banya heshi yo wa zeba
Beshi.
ayusu nya ni ne ka chake Ghana football
Beshi.
cheni ni bi ehele na wa form ehele agba ojo safo mekadi be nya tia me yemo na me yo e ka wa ya show Start Times in Beko no beke to kweku ole TV station ko ye work them just start time be won pa nfa kan ye ba ne ba fi alodo ba first one in ye fe wona no ko ka won ka highlight the che won ne share no nya fi ani odogba ni mi aso ni won ya wo hie aw baby aw yo wa jomo baby jet mini Sunday no mo three ana won pa fai bosu kena three ana won pa fai no mo fe mo ni babo na shila anmo bolo mo domo no no nya kamboshi ni no ni kon here no ta no fe no nyo fe wole bo mo no ko ba ni kon here no ta no fe no nyo fe baby jet Asamoah Gyan bodi na ma wa na mo babo na yo wa ka mo ko ba no mo na ani mo achi ye je because Asamoah ba kokra Ghana ba na ise ba kokra wo ba no ba na ise baby jet Asamoah Gyan
Jet.
bọ́ọ̀lù ọ̀tún ọ̀gbìnà ṣì Ghana small ọ̀sẹ́fì kò Ghana ẹgbẹ́kọ̀ náà politicians ẹ̀ka fún àmì dáa ẹ̀kọ́ ìyá àmì sẹ́nu mu ó tiẹ̀ fi ọ̀nà ònyìn ẹ̀fẹ́ bàtà àmì pé ọ̀ ní wọ́n pa fàáyì bẹ́ẹ̀bi yẹ àná òhìn akábòsì ní òfin ní oníṣẹ́ akọ̀fin ní ìjọlẹ̀ kẹ̀kẹ́ ṣètò ànyẹ̀ òhìn ẹ̀ ẹ̀nà mi wọ̀ bí ọ̀ yẹ Yéṣu gbà mí amen.
Amen.
Ṣé penalty ní ẹ báyìí ní sọ ọbí ọbẹ̀ tún ẹ bò mí. Sẹ́mi sọ́lá sẹ́mi kọ̀ bọ́ àṣẹ ẹnu. Lágànà ní ń gún àṣẹ. Ṣé ọmọ ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tún ẹ bọ̀ nù? Ṣé ọmọ sọ ọmọ sí bẹ́ẹ̀ tún ẹ bọ̀? Mú ṣe é ṣeré. Because pressure mú sùn. Everybody is scared. You scared? You cowards! Now be for one Ghana ko ni na de na say ya. Mu nkofo na ye ka se ye di go say asumesi we bo e na me ko jita me bo na me boy no. Aden na mu mo beka. Say no kwa. Ba mu de say ye ni pa ko. You people didn't even come out to come and talk. Say na no kwa. Na me first penalty taker. Ye ka no players now move on. I then I want to member out. I'm back said, and no can I no pay. The fans can be the fans. They can do whatever they want to say. But Muna move on, come and defend it. Because you were scared and because they are mentioning my name, because I was all over the place, I was loved by the people. You instigate them to talk bad about me. Really? What I say? Players now the people around you know. I don't know how to come no more to Mecca. Because I didn't really know who you. So don't go behind the scene and think of what say. Oh, now you see. Then outsiders, what people think about me, they don't know. You don't say it. How many years? And I assume it's say or no never and I me got it. Really? Now yummy mum. Me more now because what penalty am I saving? Ah, then I said, say me because shut up what penalty I said. The fans can be the fans. They have their opinion. They don't understand the things. Sometimes you need to educate them for them to understand that this is what happened. But you malaria now me who now because say you didn't say it. Say me who now because man really? These are patriotic citizens, people who die for their country. So when you don't see, you face calamities and then you understand. people are happy, people are bashing me, they are happy. So they don't come and quench fire. No, because they know some they are there. So people will say, oh, I feel they so they don't say it. So no, cowards. Let me tell you, they are cowards. Me, I always step up. I always step up. I rise up to the occasion. I always step up.
Wow. End of snippets 1. I like how it ended. It says, I always step up. Ironically, step up
is Appear's brand, the clothing brand.
Let's listen to part 2.
So how many are we going to?
We're just going through 2.
Okay,
so
okay,
the Black Stars penalty issues, and then we'll go through his issues, Andre Ayew, and then we'll get into it. So let's listen to what Asamoah Gyan, former Black Stars captain, had to also say about his relationship with Andre Ayew.
You say what? I talk about Andre. Andre is a good person. When he's playing, he's passionate. Also, nkofo kika nsem kire no. Oh wait, to me. Oh wait. And I know. Are you okay? Because today I'm in my element. Are you okay? So who say you people? Muna ya mudi problem eba no. I've told you, it's a fact. So are you okay? What you want to know about me and Andre? Andre, when he see me, he had that genuine love inside. Genuine love inside. But because he's been brainwashed, because people want to gain from them. Oh, Asamoah, you see, quick, you can do it, you can do it. Hey! And that is what people think. And that has brought those so-called rivalry. Me, I'm not a rival to anybody. So Ubon say me maka the asem obebi. I obi na ka bibi a mama mi buefu ama ngodwen ho. That's how it is. So this is the time we have to come together. And this is how Ghana will benefit. That is how you do meeting as men. It is an advice to everybody.
That's how we start in the year off. Wow. My folks are in the studio. So Coach Christopher Dimley already gave us the opening prayer. Susu Grab is here. Nathan Kwa is here. Them kinds here. Let's talk. Let's get into this Asamoah Gyan rant. First things that strike me, especially off the first audio I played, is him calling his teammates cowards. He says that when the penalty against Uruguay came at that crucial moment, none of the people who he has heard talking or whispering about his miss had the nuts to step up to take the shot, and so they are all a bunch of cowards. That's the first thing. I'm not going to give my opinion on that. Second thing he said is that the team, or when he was Black Stars captain, he was literally living in isolation because there were all kinds of agendas going on around him, and so the only time he truly expressed himself as captain was via his performances on the pitch, and so he feels like he didn't have friends within the team. He said something also interesting, that those people who were, as we call them, the little foxes, were saying little bits of naughty things about him. He says they all eventually ended up leaving the team one after the other. They all started disappearing from the national team one after the other. So that's my highlights from the first tape. The second tape, where he says that the misconception in the public eye or in the public that he is enemies or has bad blood towards Andre Ayew is something that has been created solely by factions within Andre Ayew's territory, and that they do these things, or these are acts of sycophants to get basically favors from Andre Ayew and whatnot. Wow. My thing was, yes, he was doing a live, yes, he was asked a few questions, But to what end? I mean, were you addressing some of these things? I feel like for him, it would have been better to let sleeping dogs lie. I'm not him. I can't speak for him. Again, I'm just speaking from my point as a journalist and somebody who's known and covered him for a while. Let me talk to Coach. Coach has been in silence for like a minute. It looks like you've been taking in all that's going on.
Exactly. I've been thinking through what he's been saying and how best I have to
approach this.
Look, like you said, you've played 2 sections. There are more sections of the audio, but these are the ones
that are relevant to our discussion.
That's right. I disagree with him when he says that his teammates were cowards. Completely. Because as a coach, per the organogram and per what we have witnessed in the tournament prior to that particular penalty kick, if anybody had picked up that ball, that person would have incurred the wrath of Ghanaians. Because I have spoken to people very close to the team. I have heard the captain of the team at the time, Stephen Appiah, I've heard him even say that when it came to any time the Black Stars had a penalty in a game, once Asamoah was on the pitch, he was the chosen one for that penalty. And again, if you look at the sort of tournament he has had prior to that all-important penalty kick, who else could have picked up that ball? Maybe only one other player, Stephen Appiah himself. But Steve-O, with his leadership quality and his understanding of the game, he clearly understands that when you are in a tournament, Steve-O would have only gone for that penalty if Asamoah was not on the pitch at the time of that kick being awarded. So I completely disagree with the baby jet when he says his teammates were cowards. They were not. Stephen Appiah wasn't a coward. At least, if not for anything at all, I can vouch for Stephen Appiah, because in 2006, that penalty that Asamoah took can be equated to the penalty Steve-O took against the America. That also took Ghana to the next round of the tournament.
Coach, I think you were saying that the people who have been insulting him, who didn't take it, I think he's...
Is that what he said?
He basically says that...
more like the people who are talking about him, not just
so
teammates.
I'm coming.
Good.
So that's I want to establish the fact that they were not cowards. They were not meant. They were not in the position to pick up that ball. No one else could have picked it up. Who else, per the tournament we've witnessed and for what we had seen in that tournament, who was the talked about player in the whole world at the time?
And he has scored against Australia.
And look at the fantastic goal he scored against America that took us to that quarterfinals against Uruguay. And in that game, look at his effort. He was pumped. I believe sincerely that it was his adrenaline level that got him to miss that penalty, because he was like, come on man, look at the stopwatch, I put this in, we gone.
That's a lot.
And the penalty, look, if the ball was goal bound, Musiala, is that the name
Muslera.
of the Muslera, he had no chance. It was going to go into the net strong. But if you look as a coach, look, I've watched it over and over. Go and watch it again. Just before he struck the ball, his chest went up like that. In the game of football, if you don't bend over the ball and you raise your chest, so the ball was goal bound,
and then it just lifted at the last moment.
And we all knew at the time the Jabulani ball was one ball that everybody had complained about
being manipulated by the wind.
So I've looked at it again. I've analyzed. I said, look, technically, he did the wrong thing in striking the ball. It happens.
I think he wanted to maybe put it to a side. It looked like the keeper was moving to the side, so he tried to move to the middle.
I think the decision he took was a consequence of the 2 prior decisions he had taken.
He had gone right, he had gone left.
Yes, against
in
Serbia,
the tournament,
he went to his left.
And then
against Australia, he went to his right.
So this one he was going.
So this time,
and look,
go down the middle.
Musiala had no chance. If you go watch the ball again, it isn't that
he took the ball by the wrong way.
Yeah, he was getting.
Musiala was beaten. He was lying on the turf looking at the ball.
And that was what I'm saying, if the ball was goal bound was in the net. So technically, I believe the wrong technique in striking the ball was done. And that happens. Look, nobody is better positioned to express the pain of missing that penalty better than the young man. Look, I remember by then I was in school. I was in the States. No more. We're watching the game in the JCR. What we refer to as JCR when you're at the university in the States. We had our drums as Africans. Every African brother, Liberians, Nigerians, South Africans, all of us in the school, we had grouped ourselves. The Americans were one way. I had my Ododompo. Number one, Jijama. We had just, look, we're just waiting. No more, look, when that ball struck the bar, believe you me, life were lost. Believe you me, there were some people who had never been the same after that. So for me, I can only plead with the young man. It's gone. It's finished. Look, Ghanaians, some Ghanaians might have hated him. Some still do hate him because of that. Me, I've loved him after that penalty miss, and I've loved him each and every day. But what he cannot be seen to be doing is speaking the way he's speaking.
Yeah.
We don't expect. Look, anybody can try to rekindle, to get us to remember.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be coming from him.
Yeah.
Especially when he was the main protagonist involved. It should not be coming from him. No more call but we minkpabofai. Baby, to be in solenin kebwe. Can be provocable. No, you ain't be coming. Won't pafai. In look to some of us, to me, he's the best striker ever I have seen to play for Ghana. I saw Anthony Eboa. I was a kid. I saw Prince Poli. I have seen who else? Matiyama. After those two, he's the best striker to have worn the shirt of the Black Stars. I didn't see those before Anthony Eboa. But I've seen Anthony Eboa, I've seen Prince Poli, I've seen. None of them rock shoulders with him. They may be very good players in their own right, but to me, he's the best striker Ghana as a look. We are still struggling to replace the young man. When Anthony Eboa and Ahimfo and Kwame Ayew and co exited, we didn't cry over them because there came the baby jet. He went in there, despite all the difficulties that he went through. We could all see that this
guy had quality.
We could all see that this man there, he's taken over our national team. But since he left, who has taken over our national team?
Jordan.
No more one anoko.
Oh, don't do that.
Oh, no more.
Be scoring spectacular.
Oh, many Jordan. One anoko no more.
I feel like I know more.
Ona semenyo me gani bi ya men twa ni bi komen. Mo famo na men twa ni bi komen. Ni Asamoah Gyan level ne keba. Benjamin na level ne. Look,
fair.
No player in the current national team could have scored that goal against US. You see that goal under pressure?
That's one of my favorite
goals. The
moment
the defender bumped into him,
he fell down.
It is only the baby jet who could have seen the bigger picture and maintain his composure and his stature. Said that, look, I will not fall down. In Beijing, what the US defender sought to do was to stop the play there by bumping into him for him to fall down, so that the foul will be given.
He said no
you
way.
Put Semenyo and Cole in that situation.
It's okay. Don't take it there. Don't take it there. It's okay.
I'm a bear washing.
Land for me.
Semenyo make Otuado make any beef. I'm a bear washing. I'm a try Afcon ni woko one match. I need to tell them.
Land for me.
No one fight, baby. And on the issue with him and Andre, I don't want to comment on that because I think that, look, even here, we are colleagues here, but we are all not friends. I don't need to be a friend with anybody.
Yeah.
In life, you have to choose those you want to be friends with. So those are natural phenomena. Those are things that you are supposed to allow to happen naturally. Whether he wants to be friend to the day or the day wants to be friend to him, it is.
No, he was talking to the people around Andre Ayew who are always trying to stir up stuff.
To him, to himself, does he see the young man as his friend? Does the young man see him as his friend?
Maybe he feels like people are always trying to stir up things that are not there.
So what did he do to put those people to shame?
To be honest, I think he was a bit hypocritical in that point because there were always people from his own side
who also doing the same thing,
stirring up stuff in that regard.
If you put the people to here, they would say, if not likewise, they would say even worse things.
Fair.
So what I'm saying is that on that
let sleeping dogs lie.
Let sleeping dogs lie. No more jail by force. If you come to where I work, it's not everybody who is my friend. And I try to be nice to everybody. When we say somebody is your friend, it goes beyond certain things.
Yeah.
So as for that one day, no more one fight. I may call now Andre, and you think you want to talk to him and stuff, you can talk. You people look. Players say
Andre's a good
behavior.
It's honor. You say Andre is a good guy.
Oh, he's a good guy.
Andre has a good heart.
Of course, he said all this. So you see, let's back on the back. And to those people to who, because of Nyomedi Ntino, they try to just to create.
I know them. I know some of them.
I know some of them.
Oh, I know them.
I can't mention, but I know some of them.
They go around doing all kinds of things.
I tell some of them that
their official job, they don't do their official job.
Rather, just to create chaos. And some of them are still within our national team today, and they are creating chaos among our players, and the team is suffering. So please stay. Allow these boys to have peace and let them play for the nation. But Asamoah Gyan, you are a legend. Nobody will take that away.
Thank you.
Can see me too. I'm coughing there's something going around. You can see me too. I'm coughing and I'm sneezing.
Yes, so
it's the Hamatan.
It's the Hamatan. You were suffering from cold, and yesterday you were.
That's why he needed to relax.
So you needed to calm down. Bosu,
Mr. Graham, talk to me about if it's time for Gyan to let this go. Because one, let me tell you why. I feel like every time, you see, the FIFA handle has a habit of like revisiting those goals. The CAF handle revisits like moments.
I just know something. There was a time he was on Super Sport, and the lady asked him, that whether after so many years he's forgiven Luis Suarez, and this was what he said. He said if he was in Suarez's shoes, he would have done the same thing. So you need to look at everything that transpired and say, come on, it was not meant to be.
I feel like every time where there's somebody comments on it, it could be a random person, it could be the FIFA handle posting the goals.
It could be a parliamentarian.
Anything.
The parliamentarian sat in that. What's the name of that parliamentarian?
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. You hold on. You finished. Hold on. I remember. Hold on.
Because he has associated himself.
No, don't do that. As for those things, I won't give a microphone to those things. Anyway, I'm just saying, is it time for him to move past it? Because I feel like as much as he's a great player, as much as he feels like there's a right for him to feel aggrieved, is it not time for him to move on from it?
You see, it goes both ways. Ghanaian is going to move on from it because he might have moved on, but when we keep bringing it up, it will bring him back.
Yes,
you don't know, because if you're I wasn't watching the live. I've not seen the videos, the audio I've heard, but you know the live, there's comments written. For all you know, he didn't come there to talk about penalty.
Fair game.
But Ghanaians came there in the comments, they're talking penalty. So he went there.
Or people asked him questions and it triggered him to just start going off.
Yeah, so my thing is, it goes both ways. Asamoah Gyan can't say, I want to move on if Ghanaians will not let him move on.
And I don't think Ghanaians have moved on.
That's the problem.
Wow.
Some Ghanaians have not moved on.
I've moved on. I told you my story with that penalty already, right?
No, but after that penalty, he took the immediate one.
No, coach, I've told you, right?
Yes,
look, I told you that day. That was actually my birthday.
Look at that.
There are some people who their love for football in this country has never been the same after that penalty.
To be honest,
they don't understand the game.
To be honest, a few years, like the first few years after the incident, I was in that place too. But in the end, I was like, you know what?
No, it was a traumatic experience as a fan. You see, anyone who loves football in Ghana remembers where they were when that penalty happened. Everyone remembers.
Everyone.
So that one day, we all
where were you?
Oh, Charlie, I was in front of my TV with my vuvuzela. I was ready to blow.
Look, on hindsight, I think the mist of that penalty was godly.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
To be honest,
because if
Ghana had challenged,
let me tell you where I was. I was at Citizen Kofi when that game was happening, and that time, Citizen Kofi, it was the place to be. You see, everybody was there. Yvonne Nelson, KOD, like look, see that a whole bustle. And if you had seen Oxford Street at the time, right? Like that kind of victory, that kind of penalty or victory that leads people to like party 2-3 days.
Yes,
that's what it would have been.
It would have resulted in
there would have been casual.
So that was godly.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was.
Look, on hindsight, I've talked about it. Look, it was godly.
But you see, that's the thing. Everyone remembers where they were. That one is facts. Because if you even compare to the AFCON penalty shootout, so technically we're even closer to a trophy. It didn't even hit the same. I don't know what about that.
That one was more painful to me than the World Cup was.
But that's what I'm saying. But you see, your visceral reaction in that moment, it was so different. But that's what I'm saying. Ghanaians are, you see, because of how emotionally, like what's the word I'm looking for? Traumatic that moment was. Some Ghanaians don't want to let go. Are you more traumatized than Asamoah Gyan?
That's what I
more traumatized than Asamoah Gyan.
And in fact, that's what I told myself. That the guy he wanted to score. Yeah, he wanted to score. He wanted to score more than anyone of us.
He was going there to miss a penalty.
He wanted to score more than anybody else.
You know what that would have done for him and his family? Himself.
Yeah.
The one Morocco did in Qatar, we should have been the first country to do that.
See? But you see, that's what I'm saying. We Ghanaians are not letting go. So if Asamoah Gyan goes on a life, right, and he's emotional about things, because I don't think it's the penalty that brought him there. I think he was, because their life,
he does lives. I mean, typically he can be riding in the car, listening to music, singing, and then he just goes on live. It's like a fun thing he does.
I see this life. He sounded very emotional.
He was.
And if you're emotional and someone brings up this trauma, because it was traumatic for him as well, he's going to go on a rant.
Yeah. And don't forget, there's been political. He has political links. That in fact, he said something. He says that his association with the outgoing party actually led him to lose a lot of respect because he felt used. That's a story we actually published. I don't know if that's why he did the live first, but he felt that he needed to clear the air on some things.
When you watch the live, and I don't know, maybe you might want to finish. Maybe.
No, you go ahead.
You see, when it comes to political party, we all have the party we support. No two ways. Asamoah is an MPP person. Those who know him know. So he should not be peeved that in supporting his tradition, what he believes in, some people have led him astray. Fair. That happens.
Fair.
Move on.
Let's move it on.
But you are just
I was just going to say that when I watched the video and listened to the tapes and everything, you could tell that this is a man who's had a lot on his chest
in the last
last few weeks, months. I think that for most footballers, you retire and you sit down, relax, the stories go away, you live your life. But it's almost as though there was so much happening that now that he's in his retirement, it's now that he wants to let off steam and say a lot. And things have happened. He's not had a quiet retirement through no fault of his. The foray into politics, all of these things, the stories that have followed him from his career,
about his marriage,
the marriage matters, everything. So he's had a lot on his chest. And just like any other person, he would want an opportunity to let it all off.
Yeah.
And I think probably he went live, wanted to address one or two issues, and then the touchiest and the most sensitive of matters started emerging in the comments, and boom.
And let's say something about social media. People,
trigger you.
Yeah. Well, there's no way that the social media wasn't opened, and people said that, this guy, he's talking plenty. You can't even score. That kind of rubbish.
Somebody say that.
That kind of rubbish.
About to say something like that.
And if, like Nathan is saying, he's emotionally vulnerable already, he will go. And it's not like he didn't bring these people up by accident. It's not like he came for them. We know how these Instagram lives are.
The Andre Ayew part, if you play the tape, remember the first comment? The first comment was a response to a comment.
To a question.
He said, you want to talk about Andre? Then he goes on.
You see, I feel like we're also being a bit harsh on him in the sense that he's in an emotional state. I would say that as someone, we all use social media. Sometimes it's good to take a break. You're not in the right place. Turn off your phone. Delete the app. Log out. Whatever the case. That's how I feel about those things. But look, you can't control everyone. I understand him. So he talks about the Andre thing, and this Andre thing, I want to talk about it slightly. We have a problem with our teams. And I'm realizing since Asamoah Gyan and a lot of these other players, I'm realizing something. We don't have players who retire. in the sense that they don't come and say, I'm quitting, I'm retiring.
Like
they are phased out, and almost like they are just not coming anymore. Then one day we hear they are
our
retired.
players actually have a very deep fear of retirement.
Exactly.
They are peeved. They think they are not treated well.
And we saw, and you see, we are having this same issue that created this whole Gyan Andre rivalry with their captaincy. It is going to become an issue with Partey.
It has become an issue.
You see, Partey and Andre, this whole captaincy thing, because the same, I feel like their issue even started a lot because of this whole, when was it AFCON 2019, when Gyan wasn't really playing. So they took him to their squad, general captain, the whole general captain.
I said that whole topic needs its own crusade. It needs to have like all night for
so
that.
This
that
is probably
topic.
why they have issues. The whole, now we have a same situation where nominally Andre Ayew is Black Stars captain, right?
Yeah.
But he's not being selected anymore. But we've not said okay. No one has come out to say Andre Ayew is no longer part of the Black Stars. Andre Ayew has not come out to say I'm no longer available for selection. So we're in this limbo where Partey is the captain, but he too is not like there's an issue with him.
Yeah.
So then Kudus handles the ban one game. Jordan.
Otuado mismanagement. It's as a result of Otuado's mismanagement.
But you see,
on the issue, I'm coming. So I beg to differ here. There's no issue between Partey and Andre as to who the captain is, because like you rightly said, Andre has not been the throat of the captaincy.
No, it's just because he's not being selected.
In the team,
he
wears
becomes
the band.
Yep.
So when he's not there, somebody has to wear the band.
Yeah.
And in his absence, Partey has always been his deputy.
Yeah.
So once he's not been called by the head coach, Partey wears the bands. The mismanagement of that band is Otuado's own doing.
I agree,
Coach. I don't disagree, but I'm saying that we have a pattern of having issues with their captains.
since
That's what I'm saying. It's more like-
Kwesi Appiah and Abedi Pele and Tony
it's been we've had issues with their captaincy. Some becomes more personal than others, like we are seeing in this. But you see, we seem to have an issue. So I'm also sympathetic to Gyan in the sense that this issue is beyond him, in the sense that we don't handle some of these things well. We don't handle the end of our players' careers well, because almost like our players kind of sneak out of the national team.
It is not about we handling. They are to know better. Outside world, when you go there, today Cristiano Ronaldo is talking and saying, I think I can play another
3-4 years
or two.
Yeah.
He's speaking. So when he's ready, he will step out.
Yeah.
We've seen when Paul Scholes and co were ready, didn't they step out? So our players should be told.
Charlie, and see this topic. I don't want to get into it because it's a whole topic. Because we have players who have retired like
What
3 or
is
4
that?
times. But I'm telling
My whole
you,
thing
you
is
just
that
go.
we have this whole issue with going in and out. There's a lot going on. I think Gyan, like we said, he's a victim of this in some circumstances, and he's also the cause of it in some circumstances. The one thing I'll say about all of this is it was very ill-advised for him to go on live if he felt he was that emotional. If he felt that live was getting too much, I said, look, you guys,
I need to just check.
I don't like the questions you're asking. This is what I want to talk about. He should have limited the discussion. It's your life. It's not the people's life. So if people start talking plenty about penalty and Andre Ayew and stuff, tell them that, look, if you keep talking about the penalty, I'll end the life. If you keep talking about Andre, I'll end the life.
One day to Andre, when he goes live, people will ask him, they say Uruguay,
Uruguay penalty.
What is that?
Hey, Charlie, I forget to say that penalty.
So,
I'll let Adam have the last word on this before we move on.
I just feel like he's in a tough position. And look, let's also be honest. Things are changing for him because he's not as liquid as he was before. You're not earning that same weekly salary. So people are going to change their behavior because we know how these footballers, their lives change with the people around them. You feel vulnerable because some people you thought were your friends. You thought they actually liked you.
And he said, and he addressed a lot of those things in there.
He did mention it.
And so that one day he has himself to blame, because at the end of the day, I will not accept the situation where he will come and tell me he's broke. He made $250,000.
I don't even want to get into that kind of discussion. I don't think that's what it is.
But I'm just saying, he's also, so you see, it's like there's a lot of things hitting him at once. There's this political party thing he said he didn't feel happy with the way the campaign was, because remember he was on the manifesto committee something then suddenly he left.
And if somebody says that God will not forgive those people, he said it too. He says God won't forgive those people.
That was about the politics.
And then
so you could tell there's a lot on this.
There were stories. We all saw the tapes. Right? There's stories of maybe
that's what I'm saying. He's in a tough place. His life is changing. People around him are changing the way they receive him, because for all you know, now he goes to some places, people don't treat him the same way. So you are thinking, hey, it's that this person never loved me. And look, it's normal. Muhammad said remember Muhammad said the same, that the hampers, they did the election and then the hampers stopped coming.
That's what it is.
So it is what it is. So look, I'm sympathetic to him, but I feel like he should handle his social media better.
I think so.
For it. He should handle his social media better. That's the one thing I'll say about this. That look, we like to get to know some of these stories with players, but if you're going to talk about it, be measured. You shouldn't be going on a ranting and raving, screaming and saying. You need to calm down. You need to address these things, because you are diminishing the way people see you when you go on like this. And I saw someone that text saying, "Oh, he's speaking the truth and things." You, even if you speak the truth and you speak the truth in a certain way, you make it easy for your enemies to say, "And he's just shouting, and he's just this, he's just."
So there's a nuance to it.
Look, I'm a coach on this. He's one of my favorite players. Like I love Asamoah Gyan. Like me, the penalty.
You remember that game?
Yeah, Congo.
That was the game that took Ghana to the World Cup.
My Jan game is the malaria game.
We needed to make sure we didn't lose that game.
But you know, we're in the bend. It started from that one. Then we went to South Africa. But you make a good
if we had not,
the South African game would have been useless. I agree with you.
Look, what that is his best career goal.
I say the malaria game is what sold me on
even for the longest time. I used to always tell people that that I always used to tell my other friend, he loves Cristiano. I said, look, Cristiano Ronaldo, he can't reach Asamoah Gyan's level. We go to the World Cup, Cristiano Ronaldo can't score, but Asamoah Gyan, he's delivering for his country. I used to always joke with all my friends. So that one, I love the guy, but I just feel like this social media thing, he needs some, even if someone managing it for him and that kind of stuff, that when he just needs some, like that one day.
And now Jan retire, he get time. Nobody go manage that.
I think after this episode, he should take a step back. Take a step back.
Just wrap it up.
The first thing I want to say is that with all the things he said about some of the things that happened in the national team, I think he was being a bit hypocritical there. Mm-hmm. I don't think some of the things happen in vacuum. I don't think Andre had a problem with him, and if something didn't come out of his camp to it, of course, it would have caused some friction. Something definitely comes out of your camp for friction to start, even though it's
there's no fire.
Even though to start somewhere, some sort of response will come before it's actually turned into a problem between two people. So there's some sort of reflection he has to do in that regard too. The next thing I want to speak about is how our players handle leaving the national team. It's a point most of the guys have made.
Big point.
I don't think, like, generally I think it's a Ghanaian thing. When people get into spaces, especially public spaces, and they stay there for a period of time,
MP more than 20 something years.
Okay, so don't take me there. So don't see. Don't do that. Don't take. No. So it's a different discussion. No, it's okay. Different discussion. I'll come. Don't do that. Let's. No, you see. Hold on. No. Oh, nimbly. You see, it's a sports show. We need to have some nuance to the discussion.
No, but you see, by extension,
I understand.
Like he's saying,
I understand.
He's not only advising the sports.
No, but you see, sometimes. No, hold on. Let me say something, right? Okay. Sometimes. No, let me say it. Finish the point for me.
And when they get there and spend a long period of time, then they almost start to feel that they shouldn't be removed, or that's where they should be permanently. And it becomes problematic when things like this, there's a new young person on the block, the person supposed to take your position. Now it becomes a problem because you're in the space where you don't want to leave. Then now it's almost as if the
performance too has dipped. And that is key.
And it's almost as if they have to uproot you from the place. And it causes all these kind of things. So I feel like most of the players who are in the team now, the young ones, if they are looking at this, they should be looking and thinking into the future. When it gets to my turn, I shouldn't be in a position where I'll make it difficult when they want to phase me out of the team, because it comes with these sort of problems.
I like that. I like how we're wrapping it up. And you see, because I want to just ping back off what Susu said, just on the lighter side. See, this captainship matters. If the day, you know that one of the interviews I want to do the most in my life. Tony Yeboah here, Abedi Pele here. My goodness. Maybe Tony Bafu in the other seat. Like I would love that interview, because till today, right? There are things on Tony Yeboah's chest because of that captaincy row from that era. There are things on Abedi Pele's chest from that era. Tony Bafu same. In fact, the closest I've come to hearing any of them speak on those matters. I think Kwabena Yeboah interviewed Tony Yeboah like 4 or 5 years ago. He shared some details, but even that, you could tell that he was holding back from saying everything. And then Tony Bafo for the first time actually reacted in a, like almost out of character. Like I'd never seen Tony Bafo respond in a way like that. But he said that, look, if somebody is saying something about me somewhere that is unfair, I will respond. Look, and I thought he was in his right to respond to that. I just think that these captainship issues,
under the circumstance, there was no way Tony Bafo should have accepted to captain the team. Anthony Yeboah was right. Look, nobody can justify that. Fair. That some of us were in class, I think class 5, class 6, about. But we could clearly see. But you had been in the team less than 3 months.
But why haven't we addressed our captainship rows from that?
We should have, the points that we should
in
have.
The final,
we should have a way of
well, at the time it was Abedi Pele and Tony Yeboah. Those were our two men. And anytime Abedi was absent, we were captain the team.
Tony Yeboah openly said that.
That's why we didn't win that.
He says the team was split in two.
Yes.
There was him and the guys from Kumasi. Yes. On one side, and then there was Abedi and his faction from Accra and also on the other.
The point is that we need to handle some of these things better.
Yeah,
right. We need to, because these are seeds that have been sown years ago, and we still can't seem to resolve this captaincy challenge.
Anyway,
and the challenge keeps coming up in different iterations. It's just
anyway. For just to wrap up the local discussion,
that conversation too should include Akwesi Appiah. Because the original captain.
In fact, he should be the one in the next conference. It should be the four of them. It should be the four of them. Bafo, Maestro, Yegola, and Akwesi Appiah. I'm telling you.
So we go for French speaking.
The two of them will never even get into the same room. I'm not even.
No, they are best friends.
No, I'm not even. I'm saying the 4 people I'm talking about. They will never ever get into the same room together. Like it won't happen. Whoever achieves it, they should call me. I need to be there.
I would like to this French thing I've seen. How the referee going to speak French? How can you tell me this story?
That was the excuse they were giving us.
Can you tell me this?
Let's talk about. Let's talk about some transfers. Teams are getting busy or not, because you cannot say. Show proudly brought to us by Kivo. They say if you are feeling hungry and want something quick to eat, Kivo 4-in-1 Gari soaking mix is your hunger buddy. So all you need is to just get your Kivo. It's crispy Gari, crunchy granola, creamy milk and sugar. Just add your water and you are good to go. No stress. Delicious taste. So Kivo 4-in-1 Gari makes soakings are easy. Kudus Mohammed.
That one the soaking there is been made easy.
They go on Ankasa. Kudus Mohammed. Shout out to Kudus Mohammed. The pepper soup guy and the soakings guy. Hard guy. Royal Kingdom Estate are also proud sponsors of Sports Panorama. They want to give you litigation free land. Don't come and stress with Landguard. You buy land and 10 years you can't build your house. Royal Kingdom Estate say let them put an end to all that wahala. Land acquisition, construction, design, property management and more. Lands in Ebri, Accra are starting at 90,000 Ghana cedis. We offer flexible payment plans, affordable homes ranging from 2 bedrooms, premium furnished apartments, also for short rentals at East Airport. So visit us at Cantonments opposite Soul Clinic International School or call 0557 55909 0557 555 or 0272 778 880. Royal Kingdom Estate, building communities, nurturing dreams. Twisco also proud sponsors of Sports Panorama. In fact, they have deposited some New Year things at the reception. So Orekodo, Charlie, your favorite chocolate beverage, enriched with NF4, proud sponsors of Sports Panorama. Let's get into the act of buying and selling. Let's get into transfer mode. I don't have my Don't Mystic tune here by some miracle, but let's start off from the doorsteps of Liverpool, because that is where all the chirping is. In fact, I like what's going on at Man U too. Somebody sent me a message today and says that they are depressed as United fans, so I shouldn't discuss them on the show today.
I mean, a relegation.
Oh boy, I'll discuss you.
We'll discuss it.
Let's start off.
Relegated manager.
Let me start off from Adam. Let's talk about Trent Alexander-Arnold, because he is the guy on the hot seat. As at now, he has split the Liverpool fans in two. There are those who say that if you leave, don't ever call us your club again. You are done. You don't add your name to. Don't mention our name again. There are those who say that, you know what, he's giving us all he can. All he needs to do is not leave on a free, and this relationship will probably be salvageable. How do you feel that this should play out?
I agree with the second one. I feel like for someone like him, he's come from the academy. He has played at every level possible at Liverpool.
I heard that he's joined the team at age 6.
The team is
therefore 20.
The team is his mother in football. If I'll put it that way. So he's come up to this point, won almost he's won everything at Liverpool there is to win. He's won the FA Cup,
Champions League, FA Cup,
one of everything.
And this is coming off a period where Liverpool went.
Is he happy with that COVID Premier League title they won? The one where they were in their room celebrating.
Then it's a Premier League title.
He should stop that.
It's a Premier League title.
He should stop that.
This one.
And that's what I was listening to Salah on my way.
Did you hear Salah?
And Salah was saying they want to win this Premier League title, and I think it's because of that. Everybody remembers that
title they celebrated in
it's
the
still
bedroom.
a Premier League title, and it's their first in how many years? So I think after doing all this at Liverpool, if he wants to leave Real Madrid to Real Madrid, it's okay. I don't think Liverpool fans should be angry about it. I think he's given everything. I think what they'll be mad about is that he's 25 now. He's entering the prime of his career, and he will leave to give it to another club. But if you look at where Liverpool was when he came into the team and where Liverpool is now after some of the performances he's put up, I think it's fine. But then Liverpool fans are being a bit hypocritical. They wanted to be many to leave his boyhood club to come join them.
You have to go there.
And Trent wants to leave to Real Madrid.
Do you remember?
That's to go there. That's his childhood club, and they wanted him. They were saying he lacks ambition for wanting to come to. And now you want it's Real Madrid. If Real Madrid comes,
I think Liverpool fans low key hate Real Madrid. Like a lot of Liverpool fans, like low key.
Let me have a small take on this trend, and I rather look at the Liverpool hierarchy and say this is mismanagement.
Because you know that Owen and McManaman have made trips to Real Madrid, right?
You don't
Xabi Alonso, right?
Xabi Alonso too.
You don't sit there and allow somebody who's been with the club to reach this stage in his contract where he could leave. If you don't accept the 20 million pounds that Real Madrid are offering you in January, he could leave for nothing. And that's
not to cut you, but could it also be that you cannot force a player who is set in his mind that he wants to leave?
No, but
to stay.
The timing of the contract offer, what players don't like is for them to be 2 years away from the end of his contract,
and they've not heard anything.
And they've not heard anything from there. It means that you people are staying undecided. So if you don't talk to him with 2 years to go, and he enters that, and the age is right in the case of this young man, the age is proper.
He's about to get into his prime now.
That's it. So it means that the hierarchy, those people handling the things there, they were sleeping on the job. Look at Mohamed Salah. He's 33 years old. One would have said that they gave him a contract extension that will bring him to age 33. So let's wait and see at age 33 whether he's still doing it like he used. So that is sensible. Van Dijk is 32 years. That is okay. But to sit there for a 25-year-old.
So you mean that the trend should have been the priority?
He should have been the priority. For them to have sat there and allow a 25-year-old player
to run down
his contract in the situation where they stand not to get 1 penny. Now Real Madrid shows up, take the 20 and give it to us in January. You are saying he wants to win the league. We want to win the league.
They know what they are doing.
They know what they are doing. And look, be told, the boy's head is
10. He's gone. Trent's head is gone.
His head is 10.
When Real Madrid count for you, your head will be gone.
How many? At the end of, you see, and Mohamed Salah spoke today. He's also confirmed that this is his last year.
Yeah.
So what is happening there? These are not.
That is the bigger question.
Non-performing players. So
what is happening there? When people are shipping out non-performing players,
That's what I think. I think Liverpool have been caught off guard. One, I don't think they expected Salah to be this good at this age.
I think that's the main.
So maybe the plan thinking was that after 30 he starts to decline.
Yes, so
by 33
that one makes sense.
Give him 2 years or 3.
That one makes sense.
We sell him.
Look at his performances.
That's what
I'm 2 years. Put 2 on the
But
table.
that's dumb on their part too, because they had a chance to sell it for 100 million and they didn't.
And they refused it.
But at that time he was still hot.
So offer him a contract.
Actually, you see, the 100 million was it last summer, I believe.
That was last summer.
When the Saudi boom started.
Yeah, they should have taken it. Honestly,
I've said this thing to
They
you.
should have.
they should have taken it because
And
at
at
that
that
time, looking at his contract situation and his age, they should have taken it. They
So
let
he-
him come
look.
into this situation. Now he can go for free at this point.
The
He will
fact
go for free.
The fact that he's looked at that, you refuse the 100 million. Now I want you to offer me this amount
Yeah,
of
2
money.
years.
Based on my, and he deserves it.
He over. Nobody can tell him that he doesn't deserve it.
The man
Nobody.
is breaking every record. No 33-year-old ever in the Premiership has done the thing he's done. So just put 2 years on the table. Do you know what? Take
Let him do
year,
one.
Do one. They will give you
2+1
option to trigger.
Yeah.
Agreements from both parties. They will trigger. So look, the people at Liverpool, they have slept on the job. If Trent is to
At
leave
this point,
at age
at this point
25,
of his career.
the ball
And it
he's
will
playing,
send, send a bad message to the rest of their upcoming stars.
the ball he's playing, if Real Madrid truly shows up where he has 3 years, they don't pay less than 70 million for him.
Yeah.
Nope.
Liverpool could have cashed.
They don't pay less than 70 million for him.
Probably more.
Probably, that's right, probably more. So you lose him for free. And
It is a
at
gut-wrenching
25,
situation.
He has about
25.
7 to
Let's talk
8
about
more
17
years.
years. He's going to play at Real Madrid.
His best has not come yet.
Yeah,
Up
understand.
to 33 years. That is when Real
and he
Madrid-
can-
How old is Caballero?
You know, and Ben, he can still evolve.
Yes,
Can
He can
become
still
a-
evolve.
he can become a DM.
become a central midfielder. So I think that again, I think the entire Salah episode maybe must have caught Liverpool so off guard that now you wake up one morning and realize that
And
wait,
Trent is also-
3 of our important players are at the point where we can't tie them down to
They are
long
sleeping
term.
on the job.
I
They've not
agree,
been
I
caught
agree
off
with
guard.
coach. You
They are
can't be caught
sleeping on
off
the
guard.
job.
You have a list of when post contracts
why-
expire.
why-
You
why-
don't know. You
see-
sign them on their contract.
I'm saying that. That's why I'm saying that. I think nobody expected Salah to be this good
That
after
is
age 30.
understandable.
I think that's the major point Liverpool missed.
Yes, I think that Liverpool missed that point.
And I will even chip in Van Dijk because Van Dijk got injured too.
Good. And he started off a little slow.
Then
after
all of,
it.
all
you
of a
see-
sudden his form hits high
But you
levels
see,
again.
all of that, it doesn't change the fact that last summer, not this summer, not this beginning of this season,
Yeah.
the beginning of last season, only was 2 years left on the contract.
Liverpool.
Even if you know the players will decline, you offer them a deal based on their terms and try and use the season to thrash it out and say,
And then
look,
sell them
this is our situation.
Yeah.
That based on your age and stuff, because a lot of teams have this where they'll tell you that look, you are at this age. At this
Chelsea.
age, we only offer 1 year contracts, we
Chelsea.
only offer 2 year contracts. We can only offer you this much, blah blah blah. They could have done all of that,
Yeah.
but they waited a whole year. That waiting a whole year
Was
is
not
the
good
criminal.
enough.
Is the criminal? Because if you lose all 3 for free, that would be one of the biggest mess ups
Yeah.
in football management history.
I'm tell- I'm telling you.
ownership
Van
group, and you
Salah,
and some
and
people will
Trent.
say that, oh, okay, they were trying to fix the sporting director situation and stuff. Are you telling me that the sporting director didn't even think that a 1 year contract was in line? So at least you signed a 1 year extension, so we know. You sign a 1 year extension, and then we'll talk about it. At least sign a 1 year extension with the promise that next summer
We'll give you more money.
we'll do a thorough,
Yep.
proper
On
contract
top of-
discussion so that we don't lose you for free. That's a sign of goodwill that okay,
And
we
from
want
what,
to keep you.
from what we are hearing, in the case of Mohamed Salah, Liverpool are not even offering a deal
They are offering him.
of his
They are actually,
current
so,
deal.
so apparently they are offering him 400,000 2 years. PSG, I hear, have offered him 500,000 3 years. 4 years.
What does Salah want? Salah wants for 3 years.
He wants to
he wants
stay.
three
He
years.
wants
He
to
wants
leave
at
Liverpool.
He wants
He
at
wants
least 3
3.
years.
He wants at least 3.
And I'm sure Liverpool are thinking,
And Liverpool are thinking that
by 36, 37.
they don't want
No,
to
he
give
can
him.
still do
They
it.
want to give
He
him
takes
2.
good care of himself.
They want to give him 2.
Yeah.
And he wants 3.
3.
I think those conversations could have been had last summer, just around say when the season ended. You thrash it out. You come to a certain good agreement to say that okay, you know what, we'll give you 2, but maybe we'll hike your wage, right? Or 3, we figure a wage out. But to lose him,
It's frankly, it's criminal to have let them get. And when they got to last summer, after the Euros, the moment the Euros ended,
That's it.
Even Salah didn't go to the Euros, so they should have fixed
Yeah.
Salah Then Van Dijk and Trent go to the Euros. They come back from the Euros. You try and sort it out before the season started, because then it becomes a distraction.
So the Trent one is criminal.
Let me.
Whoever did that,
because if you remember what happened after the first Man U Liverpool game, which is they are playing the reverse of those games. So that was the last August games. They are playing all of those games this week. What did Salah say? Oh, this might be my last game.
I also
in fact, Salah almost sounded at the point like he was begging Liverpool to give me.
Yes,
he is, and
can't you see my performance? What do I need to do?
He had another interview.
Even today, the interview, he spoke. He was like, even up to this point, he hasn't got anything. So he's still.
To be honest, I don't think he wants to.
He doesn't want to go. I don't think
his family is happy.
He doesn't want to leave.
Established.
So he's emphasizing the last year thing to talk about the fact that the club is not giving him a contract. It's his last year. If the club doesn't give me a contract, how can I stay? Am I going to have to stay and play for free or what?
Yeah, I get what it is. Let me read some messages. Sports Master says, Asamoah Gyan be legend. I love his spirit. Talk the truth and be free, and he did that perfectly. Nusike Yao says that it's painful how Baby Jet was treated and taken out of the Black Stars. He's a legend, and I think he should let bygones be bygones. It's just sad how we treat our legends in this country. This one here is, I'm always excited to be back in Accra and happy to tune in for the first time in 6 months. That's how serious it's been. Happy to be back. Shout outs to Abena Boatema, my FB friend. She's a proper Lile, an ardent listener of Panorama. This guy. Anyway, Zimbo Selassie says that I'm very disappointed in Gyan. If he wanted to address the issue, he should have done so professionally by granting an interview. The way he handled it was highly unprofessional, and I assume he might have been influenced
by
something.
So
anyway,
the influence.
Senna inside Kwashima says, please someone tell Gyan I saw him dragging the ball from Apea for the penalty kick. He wanted to be the hero that night and it backfired. Hey Charlie, people get all kinds of narratives.
You see the things you are talking about,
and these are the things that probably just take him
off. What, during some points when the penalty came, I think Apia had the ball for a period.
Stephen Apia explained that thing. Apia says the optics were deceptive.
No, you see, the optics were deceptive. So what normally players will do, you wanted to take the true penalty kicker away because there was gig. So he now took the ball,
calm the situation down,
thinking that he was the one who would take the ball.
Tornado had done his hand like they say, hey. But at the end of the day, he had done his hand like he was warning Gyan.
Now people do it.
It was motivation.
Now people do it. Yeah. The true penalty taker
so they just make you feel that this guy is going to hit.
And we know the Uruguayans, they play mind games,
all kinds of mind games.
If they see Gyan holding the ball, they'll start telling him things, trying to get in his head and things.
You are right, honestly. Joshua from Nugas says, good evening, Bennett team. Happy New Year. Please, since it's the New Year, please bring back our funny sound bites. I will do that for you. Anyway, this one says, we Liverpool will thrash Manchester United. They better don't show up at Anfield. No more. It will be Ayele for your team. Barnabas from Anya PNT. Nanama from DC says, good evening, Ben. What? Olu Washegun. Oh, listening live from Siegen, Deutschland. Okay. I'm patiently waiting to hear namely on what's happening at Old Trafford and his expectations for the new. In fact, he has to do that for us before the show ends.
Don't worry.
So there's that. Alvinio from Akosombo says, Coach Nimli, Apeke, Amorima Peke. I pray Chelsea forgets Fofana and signs Gehi. Asamoah Gyan is let me read this. Kogzan from Latvia, Koshi says, I think I saw the notification that Baby Jet was going live on IG and ignored it to continue working. What did I do? Charlie, you missed flames. But at least we've given you some snippets. Bellyman says that Asamoah and his team
he said they were cowards for not coming out to defend him.
Yes, basically. He says that when the attacks were coming, his teammates should have stood behind him. There was that. This one says, hello guys, I think we should be worried about Asamoah's recent rants. Okay, Starboy from La Paz says, oh Gyan, this interview dear, no, because what you did is just reminding Ghanaians of our pain, and people will be focusing on this your comment instead of people focusing on how to sack the Black Stars coach. Charlie.
All
kinds of. Anyway, let's move it on. Let's talk briefly about some breaking news. So Liverpool expert Dave of the Cop says that Manchester City have agreed a deal to sign Omar Mamouche. And he will join this window. Now Mamouche, he's actually reporting on it because Mamouche had been linked to Liverpool at some point, but it looks like Egypt renewal. Mamouche, Egyptian international,
plays in Germany,
Frankfurt, left wing attacker. He's been tearing up Europe this
about
season.
13-14 goals
and he's the kind of guy who is like, goals, assists, goals. Like he's just chasing the goals with assists when you go.
He's been terrorizing the season.
I saw something and it really concerned me. All his goals were the same.
Yeah.
He's on the right hand side and he plays the ball across.
Yeah.
All his goals were the same. It's like do
you remember from the AFCON? He played in the Ghana game. He completely took us to the
but you see, all his goals were right hand side shot across, right hand side shot across. So I'm wondering, is that because if that's the only goal he can score?
Truth with Mamouche is that he's a Zexi. He's a 9.5. to come to his rescue, he's not a striker in the purest sense. He's a left winger, right winger.
He's playing in the front two with Hugo Ekitike.
Good. So left winger, right winger, number 10. I'm not sure how much he's gonna go for, but just snap thoughts. I'm not sure who's taking this. Adam, if you can take this, what does he do for Manchester City? Is he the kind of guy they need? Let me get his. I'll come back to you.
Need. I won't say they absolutely need him, but an addition like that is welcome at this point in the season. They've been struggling with winning games this season, and they win games with close margins. So if they can get people who can add goals, because someone like Doku they brought in is not someone, he's not prolific. They lost Junior Alvarez, so they lost some goals. So it's like the team is dependent solely on Haaland for goals. So if Haaland doesn't have a good day, they are in trouble. So I don't think they absolutely need it, because City always have goals in and around the team, but another attacker who can bring goals to the table is welcome. So yeah, it's definitely a good addition for January.
It's a difficult one because I actually don't think he's good enough for City.
Yeah,
I'm not being disrespectful, but
I think I agree with you.
No, I'm not being disrespectful.
Double figures in goals.
No, but you see, we've seen him before. There's a reason why this is his first season scoring double figures in the Bundesliga. Do you understand? This is a player that, and the thing is, the way football is, we all know that if you're one of the best, you go to a top club. So usually the career path is you go to a club kind of in the middle. You move up a level. We see whether you are fit for one of the very best clubs in the world, and then you come, right? But because of where City are, they are desperate, and the reason they are desperate is Savinho, good player, but again another player who might have benefited from not going straight from Girona to Man City, but maybe a club in the middle of that, moving one step up before you come to Man City, a bit more polished, a bit more finished, a bit more ready to contribute. He's a good player, but if you're a Man City who needs to win now, especially when you have Grealish, not really, and Jeremy Doku is in a similar situation. He was at Rennes, he really wasn't performing. They've gone to bring him, and now you don't know what to do with him. Grealish is not performing. So I can understand the logic why they feel they need to buy Mamouche, because their wingers are not performing. Even Phil Foden, who they sometimes play on the wing this season, not performing. So if you look at Mamouche this season and you are a bit desperate, you buy him. But is Mamouche ready to be playing for one of the top teams in Europe?
Is the big picture.
I'm not through a bad time.
I'm not 100% about that. He may prove me wrong, which would be great, but I'm just not sure about Mamouche. I can understand the need for Man City to buy a winger, but the winger they should be the winger, if they were looking at a winger, and I'm thinking of the wingers in Europe, you want a winger who's proven himself a bit in the Champions League, a bit at top level. So the two wingers that come to mind immediately are the Napoli guy, Kvaratskhelia and Rafael Leao, because they have at least one league titles with their play.
But those are not players you can get in January.
Exactly.
And even if you were to get them in January, you have to sell a lot of money.
Exactly.
But Mamouche is not going to be cheap either.
I don't think Mamouche 50 million.
But exactly, Mamouche being at Frankfurt, he maybe has a 50 million release clause.
I feel like 50 million for January is a lot of money.
But but that's exactly the point, because they're a bit desperate. If you are Man City and buying a winger, you should be buying a game-changing winger, because all the wingers, they are not doing anything. You need to buy a winger that he might actually raise the level of the team. I don't know how, if I take out this season, because sometimes, like I said, we also have to ignore form a bit when we are talking about these things. Can we make an argument that Mamouche is better than any of the wingers Man City have currently, based on the last 3 seasons? Let's not use this season.
I think he's definitely better than he clears Jeremy Doku. Definitely.
Okay, that's what you get what I'm saying. Based on the last 3 or 4 seasons, that man,
he clears Grealish even.
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
based on the last 3-4 seasons, that Mamouche improved the starting line.
I understand.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, my
despite
point
him being a good player.
But you see, I also think it kind of speaks to Manchester City's business, let's say in the last window or last 2 windows, right? If today we are looking at Manchester City's wide areas, and we are raising eyebrows, and it means that they didn't really do wise business.
No, their business has been bad.
Because if you go from Riyad Mahrez to Savinho,
they went from Riyad Mahrez
to Doku.
Yeah, Riyad Mahrez to
Doku, and then they added Savinho.
Then there's Grealish, right? So they've not really bought well, especially in the wide areas.
And I feel like Mamouche is more of the same in regards to these players who they bought. That's my issue with the signing. And like I said, Mamouche is a good player. But if Mamouche went to somewhere like Aston Villa, for example, you move to a club that's around Newcastle, a club that wants to challenge for the Champions League, you double, triple your wages because Germany don't pay that well. That's a good platform for you to play well. And then Man City or another top team will come for you. But jumping straight to Man City, where you're expected to be going now to the Champions League semi-final, final, challenging for the title, is Mamouche going to be a different maker? It might take him a while to settle. If you need him to take 1 year, 18 months to settle, what's the point?
My only problem with the signing is that it doesn't solve the problem of the team,
which is the midfield.
So for all you know, the Doku, the guys are looking terribly.
They are also looking to buy a DM actually.
They will have to, because that will solve the problem and that will unleash. For all you know, if that is faked, we'll see the best of the rest of the guys. Or the Mamouche guy, look, from what I saw of him, I agree with what Susu is saying. I think it is a huge jump too early from Frankfurt, maybe like a Villa.
Look at
Spurs.
Look at Daichi Kamada.
There you go.
Perfect example. Play for Glasner at Eintracht Frankfurt. Went to
Lazio. He couldn't
went to Lazio and couldn't keep up the form. He's come to Palace. He's been completely poor.
Even the striker. You remember that Frankfurt had a striker who went to Real Madrid.
Jovic. The guy can't get a game at AC Milan.
Imagine. So to be honest, let me just talk about Mamouche briefly before we move it on. I've seen him play. I think he's a very good player. I don't know if, like you're saying, he's good enough for a championship team. You can never tell until he plays. But he has a lot to his game. Good pace, good dribbler. He doesn't need to be a goal scorer. He can provide goals for you. He can be a number 10 for you. He can play like literally across the entire front line. And so he has like really good flexibility and versatility for what they want to do. And I'm sure that at this point in the season, if he can come and do even 5 goals for them, 5 assists is good, because Doku and Grealish won't get 5 goals and 5 assists if you let them
score all of 2024.
I think they are looking purely at his outputs and how versatile he is. Because he can also play in a 2-man strike force. He can be used alongside Haaland if they need.
He can do a lot of things. And it's like now they don't even have like, if Haaland goes down, it's
like I said, I like the profile. I don't know if the profile and the quality is right for Man City. Like I said, because that step up even from Frankfurt to playing in Newcastle, maybe even if you go to, let's say, AC Milan, which is now a tier 2 team, those I'll call them tier 2 teams. No, it's true. Right now when we talk about the tier 1 teams in Europe, it's Man City, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Then maybe you can add Bayern Munich and maybe Arsenal. Maybe Arsenal gets Liverpool.
Let me move the discussion on. Let me see. So Chelsea fans, right? I'm not hearing a lot from you guys. Who would you like to see Chelsea sign in January? Is there any position that needs to be bolstered?
Chelsea need to sign in January.
Arsenal.
Chelsea signed players.
Let me know. Arsenal fans. Let me know.
You are hearing Arsenal looking at Matthias Cunha.
Oh, yes, I've heard that as well. I've heard the Isak thing is obviously not going anywhere. Anyway, Arsenal fans, who do you want to see your team sign? Chelsea. Let's talk now about Rashford briefly, and then I will transition that into the Liverpool Man United game on the weekend. Let me start with you, coach. This week,
Marcus Rashford.
Talk to me about Rashford, because like you and I were talking off air before we came, not in my wildest dreams did I think that Rashford will allegedly change management in a bid to leave Manchester United. I never saw him leave, but you said that he's making it look like he wants to leave, but the club is sacking him. Talk to me about that, like him leaving.
I saw a news report yesterday that said that the coaches were impressed with his training output.
It is the club that is actually trying to get rid of him. Yeah, because at the end of the day, see, he's been protected by the Glazers. The Glazers have protected Marcus Rashford beyond measure. Ineos comes in, they've brought in their manager, and what they will not allow to happen is for any player in that dressing room to more or less suppress the manager, or for any player to be more powerful than the manager in that dressing room. Barada, Blanc, Wilcox, and those people, they will not allow that to happen. Don't forget, Marcus Rashford has been a problem for United under Mourinho, he practically compelled Man United, because of Rashford, practically compelled Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to come and apologize to Rashford when he told him to focus on football and stop doing those things. Under Ten Hag, he's had 3 difficult moments under Ten Hag. Come and train. You are in Scotland, in the club.
It was nothing.
Northern Ireland. O Twacho. O Kutabahat. O no Tuni Ojuba. O no Michinomo. Come and play
There's
football.
no proof of.
Oh, he's proving.
Okay.
The man he was boozed, and we saw him carrying the lady into the room. Didn't you see?
No, I didn't see that.
I saw the video.
Time out.
That video is there.
Okay, fine.
That video is
You saw the
there.
video?
No more Gbani. Trouble.
Just a slight one.
Yeah.
It looks like Man City are also buying Ederson from Atalanta to help their midfield. So that seems to be
the Brazilian.
Yeah, that seems to be their midfield target.
Atalanta are releasing the boy.
There's a centre back
They are
from
releasing the
Lens.
boy in January.
If Atalanta get 50 million,
Who
they'll
center
let
back
him
from
go.
Lens is this? Argentine?
No,
He scored.
He has a Russian-like name.
Kuzanov.
Yeah, Kuzanov.
I
yeah.
thought they would not
I
release
saw
the boy
something.
in January.
But 50 million for Atalanta is a lot of
It's a lot of
money.
money. We'll
It
take
is-
it.
it is a truckload.
So we are hearing that they will offer 50
That
million
guy's
for
really good.
We are
He's a
hearing
good
50
player.
million for Marmoush, 50 million for Ederson, and maybe 30 or 40 million for the Lance boy, which makes sense considering the Alvarez sale and he didn't spend
40
too
million
much.
split
The
in
Lens
general.
They
might
have the
actually
money.
be a bit cheaper. I'm hearing his
Yeah.
value is around 20
They have the
million.
money. So, like I'm saying,
Please.
it is the club that's sacking him.
Yeah.
And he didn't do himself any good by granting that useless interview. You
100%.
tell United that you need a different challenge. We'll facilitate.
Challenge, Papa Ben. What have you won?
That is what I will facilitate that.
FA Cup.
Now he's shocked
Charlie.
that nobody, no better team is showing up for him. And like I was telling you, I read an article, I don't know the Portuguese man's name, where he wrote about Amorim. He said, Amorim, if you know him, once he takes a decision on you, you're done. There's even the likelihood that even Garnacho
Will also be. He will follow suit.
you follow suit.
Charlie.
Because this man will not endorse any form of laziness and lack of hard work. Having said that, me,
Yeah.
I don't want to see Rashford play for United again.
Hey.
There's nothing he can offer.
Hey.
This is his peak.
Hey.
He can't even dribble one player.
Hey.
We've seen it. It's there. It's clear for everybody to see. United biggest problem, like I tweeted about a year ago, the day the man bought the team. That man is an enemy to this club.
Said Jim Ratcliffe.
You see, Man City. Today is when?
First.
Third,
3rd January.
But the window has barely been open.
In 3 days. Oh, 3 days. Mamouche.
Kuzanov.
And Ederson. And I even saw a picture where it looks like, and you know those Egyptian, I mean, because we can't read Arabic, one of these translated tweets from Egypt saying, oh, my son is going to the Premier League, that kind of thing.
Yes.
It looks like Mamouche is almost
It will be
It's
done.
money,
It will be
oh.
done. Yeah.
Kudi. If you don't have money, get out. Jim Ratcliffe, single-digit billionaire. You compel me
I'm
to keep
beginning to
my
understand
jalabia in the room. That jalabia that I would have.
Oh, Charlie.
Sports.
Sheikh Altani. Sheikh Mubarak.
I couldn't wear the jalabia up to now. It's not too late, though.
Coach, the Jarabia is still welcome.
No, it is still not too late. Call the Glazers. Sit down. Call the man. Atani, he's ready to buy the team. Just give it to him. You don't have the money. Today, I listen to Amorim. He say United have to sell to buy. Jesus Christ. Sell to buy.
I said Jim Ratcliffe is treating their team like they're under an IMF.
You are sacking. You are sacking even people who take £1,000 a month. You sack all of them.
Austerity measures.
Charity bonus for Christmas, £40,000. You've cancelled. Oh, Atani would have multiplied that in thousands.
Could be. You mean Altani would have funded development in the city of Greater Manchester?
He would have done everything without any government input.
Oh,
Check
Charlie.
Atani. I want when they just transferred 4 trench of oil, they come and change the photos of the thing.
you're speaking about. Talk to me about United's relegation battle. Look, they have a big game this weekend against Liverpool.
A game they will not even win.
They are playing Liverpool on Sunday. Their next game is against Arsenal.
FA Cup.
You see, they didn't win any game during the Christmas time. They played 3, they lost 3. It's not the manager. It is not the manager. You saw Casemiro. Hey, no more can fit train in 3 days.
Casemiro is your guy.
I'm not Bemachi. He's my guy, but he ain't sharing anymore. Alabraka.
Zexi, child of all the place.
Zexi. No more party egbe.
No, Zexi is heartbroken as we speak.
No more.
Ben, did you? Did you watch?
He should go.
Do you watch the United Newcastle?
I tell the boy in the pass.
Ben, do you know?
Jesus.
Amorim for 32 minutes was telling Zexi, drop into midfield. United are suffering. It's 3v2. Drop. 3v3. Drop. And the man was just standing.
It's confused.
Drop and help your team.
And because
Ben, think about it. United. Do you know who were on Nick? Joelinton,
Guimaraes,
and Tonali. Hey, you will not get a midfield combo of bad boys than these 3. Tonali, Guimaraes, and Joelinton.
I'm telling you,
I was the 2 hard guys and the Italian gambler.
I was listening to him. He said he's had in 1 month. He's had only 4 proper training sessions. So I pitied the man. It is that they are using the competitive game
to trade,
and that you will pay for it.
You pay.
Look, maybe on Sunday they can go and do what they did at Etihad, but no Liverpool. No Liverpool, dear.
Coach, the Liverpool that is playing now,
it is too hot.
The West Ham game I watched, if they played a version of that first half against United, United get blown,
let me show you.
Blown out.
The game, it will end after 45 minutes.
No, you see,
I'm telling you.
If it is football, United are very low in confidence. Yes, I agree. But against your biggest rival in the game, looking at what happened 2 seasons ago, 7-0, you remember?
Yeah, 7-0.
You don't want to go back there and get that. So,
Chris,
Liverpool themselves will have to be very careful.
Chris, the reason why United will lose that game heavily is because when I look at this crop of Manchester United players, they have no pride.
That's what I'm saying.
They have no hunger.
If they go there and show
no
that
anger. I listened to former Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson. He said, you remember the last game United played before that one, or a few games prior, was United beating Newcastle in the League Cup final. Henderson said they watched and they got angry. That look at these guys. They are winning a League Cup. We probably should have won. That is the hunger that can annoy players to go and do a job. United players have lost it. They don't have it.
And you
see, Ben, I always say that, look, we talk about tactics a lot, but you see sometimes the sheer will of the player to say that today
we are not losing.
We are not rushing here with what we want. Sometimes that's what guides. And I always say that.
True.
I've seen horrible Liverpool teams, but Liverpool teams that team players like Honshaw,
Jay Spearing,
and on the day when you think that they won't do anything, they show up and play as if that day, if they lose their
life depends on
they'll die.
Yep.
But United players don't have the hunger, the anger, and the pride. So they will show up at Anfield. Amorim may probably craft a proper plan for them, but they will show up at Anfield.
They concede the
first goal. Let's go home and sleep, and then it will be 6, 7, 8, and 10.
Let me read a few YouTube comments, and then we'll do predictions before we take the show home. Sweet Kwame, you are misbehaving in the comment section. He says Liverpool fans are just delusional, and he's also laughing at Amorim ball. I don't even know what team you support. Anyway, Rotimi Taska. Okay. Tetrem says live in Sweden. Panorama Noah Peke. Samuel Mensa Kodria says that guy spoke my mind. Speak the truth, but be measured. I don't know who you are talking about.
I was the one who said you should feel free, but you should also
Nasiru Haruna says this is my first time. Please, what can Coach say about United? Well, he just gave you his thoughts on United.
Jim Ratcliffe.
Is it Eric Comde says that tell Coach that Amorim will be sacked by March.
No. Amorim is going nowhere.
Nobody's sacking him.
This one here says that Lawrence Addo says Asamoah Gyan has paid his dues. He says he doesn't know why Gyan is still crying over spilled milk. Okay. This one Sap Station says I blame Suarez. He has taken it. This one here says that Ben, my team City is bleeding. Okay, so Sweet Kwame is a City guy. Alexander Alome says they're listening live in Portsmouth. Okay, this one here from Gilbert Sapon says we talk about the Galaxy. I think we'll have a show. But we talk about them and Nora Hootla and all that
the
stuff.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Didi Dramani's Galaxy.
Oh,
this one here says Casemiro and Ericsson in midfield is crazy.
Look, I can beat the two of them in the race, in the foot race.
Casemiro and Ericsson. If they play three of us here, any three.
Then you remember the day we did again.
Any three here, them against Casemiro and Ericsson will win.
I'm not fit to.
any three.
Disclaimer. No, I'm not fit. No,
at all. Any Ben,
we will hold them down. You mean we will hold it down? 2 weeks of fitness.
Right before
they are the skillful mom.
Right before you went on air.
You see, Amorim this weekend. No Mazwari at wing back. Mazwari centre back. Ahmad right wing back. Diego Dallo, unfortunately, there's no option, so Diego Dallo will play another Zuku performance. So he will play.
No, after that, and don't blame him. He's playing out of position.
His very good friend Michael Oliver is handling the game. So United players, red card. Be very careful.
Let's do predictions. Let me start with you. Man City, West Ham.
I think that will be 2-1 win City.
City will finally get a win.
West Ham. J-Lo,
but they've beaten Leicester already. So
J-Lo.
But West Ham are looking good in the last few games too. So I think
they are not looking good.
They don't have Jared Bowen.
Kudus will be back on the right wing, hopefully. That's the only plus in that one.
So who's leading the line? Is Fulcook ready to come back?
Fulcook is back. That's only back.
Okay, so if he's back,
so
Kudus
back,
on the right.
Somerville, Kudus.
Okay, I think that
looks like that. Brighton, Arsenal, Nathan.
Arsenal to win.
Arsenal are away from home.
Yes, Arsenal away from home. Because see, at this point, Arsenal have realized that if they don't get points on the board, this league title could be over very, very quickly.
But they are not winning the league title.
Fine. I think now they've realized that they need to make it a good fight and hope something falls their way. So I don't see, looking at the context, I think Arsenal will win at Brighton.
Susu, Crystal Palace, Chelsea. Selhurst Park. Chelsea have picked 1 point from 3 games.
That's what I say. I'll give it to Palace.
Palace to win or draw?
Palace to win. No, I think right now they are a bit discombobulated. You see, and it's a young team, so they need to pick themselves up.
Somebody
and Palace
the boat small. No,
exactly. And Palace have a very strong defense. Their defense is quite good, so I don't expect them to give up a lot of it. If it's only Arsenal really made their defense look bad this season, actually. I think most of the teams they've conceded 2 goals, 1 goal, 0, 2 goals, so they don't concede a lot. So I think, and Chelsea to their defense
they have problem at the back.
Yeah, so I think
back and Palace have enough. When I watch the Palace
attack, any firepower.
It's only Ismail Assar.
But you see, even
Berigi is a joker.
Eze is injured.
No, he scored in the last game. He's back. But you see, even set pieces and things, they have it. So I think Palace are very dangerous.
I think that's about it from us. So we'll be here to give you
the Liverpool Man United one.
Oh, you want predictions?
6-0.
Oh, Charlie, let's not do this. I think that will be closer than all of you.
Oh no, it's definitely going to be closer.
Of course, closer. It's over 7-6.
It's always whenever we expect the 6-0 that there's a 1-0.
United go suck you people.
It will not end.
I'm looking 2-0, 3-0 tomorrow. I don't think.
No. I will be happy. There is Liverpool 8.
Okay, let me give a prediction.
Man United. I'm serious. Liverpool 8. I can give you please, if you are listening to me, take note. And I've never been wrong about scores. Salah 3. Luis Diaz 2.
How are you doing this?
Soboslai 1. Trent 2. Take it home.
Surely, I don't expect Man United to put the ball in the back of the net. So it's Liverpool to win. I think 3-0 will be a fair score.
Are you getting relegated, coach? Before I go last.
Oh no, United won't
under Jim Ratcliffe.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
And that's the show. Let's do a few shouts before we go. It's Christmas, it's New Year. Let's do a few shouts. Let's go.
I want to start by wishing some very good friends. I mean, they are like brothers to me.
Yeah.
It's just that they are in the UK at the moment and they are enjoying the show as we speak. Mr. Kwashi, my former colleague.
No more Kwashi.
At Ghana Christian International. Mr. Bridju, my former colleague. And then Mr. Cove Francis, formerly of ICS. They are all in the UK where they are doing very, very well. And I want to wish them a happy new year, a tremendous one, of course.
Yeah.
And like I tweeted, I just want to let them know that, look, it is your godly year. Allow God to run the year for you. It's as simple as that. Don't go ahead of yourself. Allow God to run the year for you. And I want to say happy new year to my lovely wife and my 3 daughters. They traveled and they came back today, and you could see that, yes, I've missed my girls. And when they saw daddy, look, no more Oche, maybe why don't daddy no more.
Microphone is off. When you are done with your rant, I'll give the others a chance to do their shout outs. You are becoming a menace. Let me talk to Edelman. Susu, you want to go?
I just want to say happy birthday to my friend Emmanuel Asabre. Yes, he's a good friend of mine, and he told me his brother is a strong Panamanian. Collins, happy New Year.
No more Collins, no more.
Happy New Year. Your brother said you're a big fan of the show last time I saw him, so that's my boy. So happy birthday to him. He's a big man. So happy birthday, Emmanuel.
They're in the building. They're around.
Happy birthday, Emmanuel, and happy New Year, Collins. Thank you for tuning in. We love our Panamanians. So
thank you very much.
Happy New Year to all our listeners. 2025 will be a good year. So if you are listening to us, happy New Year to you. Wish you the very best this year, and hopefully by December, by the time we share messages again, everything you are praying for should come to pass this year. So that's my shout out to all the listeners.
Happy New Year to my friends, the legends. We have this little boys group where we do football discussions.
The legends.
Yes. Yeah. Louise, Joel, Apeke, Nick, all of you. Yeah. Happy New Year to you guys, and happy birthday to Brian the Mensa. Today's his birthday.
Brian the Mensa. Happy birthday to Brian the Mensa.
Let me do a few shouts.
Give us more wonderful music.
Let me do a few shouts. So today is the day of Aneta Ogbo Adusu.
Oh, today's Ogbo's birthday. Happy birthday to
Ogbo.
Oh, Charlie.
Ogbo. Champion denche.
Ono Jiji.
Anabopo.
Oh.
Ogbo.
We didn't know say.
Ogbo, happy birthday to you.
Yo wa jobo.
Oh, ofe.
What's happy bene o ye wala me. You jobo finini.
Thank you.
Kagbe kanipo anabo.
Oh, Charlie. Bodley. Let me do two more. My good friend Sandy Asiedu, he says he's listening from Springfield, Virginia. He says that let me coach, you have an interest in this one. He says, tell coach I missed the days with him, myself, and Atreko Frimpong at Pravda Radio.
Yeah.
Learned a lot from you.
Happy young man, God bless you, man.
Yes, sir. Say happy New Year to Susu, Nathan, and Adam. Cheers. So big shout outs to big shout outs to our good friend Sandy. Big shout outs to my big brother Philip Kofi Ashon. Also happy New Year to you out there.
Yeah.
Philip is still a struggling United fan, but minus that, he's a great guy.
But he's a big man.
He's a big man. He's a complete big man. But you see, you can change your team still, bro.
You can't
change your team. No, you can change your
team. There are certain things you don't change in life. The team you support, you never change it.
Stop
supporting. What is now been doing to me?
The guy called this like tier 2 team. Like the honesty is so heartbreaking for me.
No, seriously, the moment Kaka left that team, that was it. Let's tell the truth.
Thank you very much.
When was the last time that back in the day, that if AC Milan wants a player, he will come. Nowadays, AC Milan is competing with other teams.
They are competing with
Bournemouth and
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Susu, and thank you, Coach. For those of you who listen, thank you as well. Those who sent us YouTube messages, text messages, we appreciate it. And the show will be up on YouTube when we are done. We'll try and upload it on Spotify as well. The Premier League will come your way tomorrow, but the Premier League preview show comes up right after this. My name is Benjamin Nketsia. Show proudly brought to us by Royal Kingdom Estate, Twisco, and Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Mix. We are out.